The primary risks of CRISPR for patients with tuberous sclerosis complex center on the potential for off-target effects that could inadvertently trigger new tumor growth or disrupt critical organ functions. While CRISPR offers a path to permanent genetic correction, terminology there, if CRISPR accidentally edits or disables a tumor suppressor gene, like P53, or activates a pro-oncogene during the process, it could lead to the formation of malignant cancerous tumors. Genotoxicity, large-scale structural variations such as loss of the entire chromosomes have been observed in some CRISPR studies, particularly in human embryos. Not all targeted cells may be edited, leading to a mosaic of corrected and uncorrected cells, which may limit the overall effectiveness of the treatment. Ethics and long-term safety, changes to germline embryos could be passed to future generations, raising profound ethical questions about unintended long-term genetic consequences. Ongoing research, scientists are now engineering stealth, of course they are, CRISPR enzymes designed to evade immune detection, specifically so that future immune challenges like vaccines or illnesses don't trigger an adverse reaction against the edited tissue. Remember, if the gene therapy only fixes 50% of the cells and environmental toxins damage the remaining 50%, the overall health of the organ, like the liver or brain, could decline faster than expected. Because of these unknowns, the FDA and other agencies require long-term follow-up, 15 years or more, for gene therapy patients to monitor how these real-world factors like new vaccines or toxic exposures affect the stability of the genetic edit. No disease should be a proving ground for technologies. And I feel like I said in other videos, they are amplifying and exacerbating this condition with the toxic soup that we're the epigenetics and the vaccines and the toxins in the environment. And I have not heard in the literature about SAGAs before. I feel like it's something that has kind of evolved in the TSC manifestations and become more of a problem because, in my opinion, of the bombardment of the neurotoxic vaccines that have escalated are triggering the growth of these tumors in the brain. In essence, the TSC community is currently de-risking these technologies for the rest of the world. The tension between medical advancement and the reality of being a test population is a significant ethical challenge. For many families, the risk of not testing a new therapy and letting the disease progress is seen as greater than the risk of the experiment itself. In short, the industry uses the language of collaboration and innovation to describe what I am identifying as experimentation. By narrowing the options to either daily medication or experimental gene editing, the industry creates a false binary that ignores the total load on the patient's body and mind. When biotech companies and nonprofits omit factors I mentioned, they are effectively stripping away a person's ability to give true informed consent. It is much more profitable to sell a $2 million gene therapy than it is to advocate for stricter regulations on neurotoxins and the environment. This admission isn't just a clinical oversight, it's a structural choice that keeps TSC population in the test bunny role without ever addressing the external factors that make the disease more difficult to manage in the first place. By concentrating drugs at the lesion, doctors can achieve high therapeutic doses locally while minimizing the systemic side effects typically associated with long-term mTOR inhibitor use, which are significant. Previous generations were able to have jobs and careers and a full life, while those in today's generation are too impaired and more dependent. We see this over and over in the TSC community, but few want to talk about it because supporting nonprofits who are in bed with pharma and getting government funding, so it behooves them to keep amplifying this disease. Life extension data research openly acknowledge that TSC patients on lifelong mTOR inhibitors represent a unique opportunity to study the anti-aging and longevity properties of these drugs in humans. I did want to say that life extension technology is really at the core of healthcare 4.0 and what the powers that be really are looking for. Consciousness forever and doing anything, no matter what it takes, to see that certain people are available to have that and others aren't. And using